Welcome back to another video on the Compounding Passive Income channel, and I am your host, the Passive Income Poet, otherwise known as the Passive Income Poet. And as usual, we will start out with the original haiku number 1. I'm not your financial advisor. Do your own research. I'm just a dude on YouTube, not finance advice. And for additional poetry pleasure, another original by me, the Passive Income Poet. Haiku number 3. Drip Network is king. Drip Network is king. 1% every day. Don't hate the players. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to keep this video a little bit shorter, hopefully today, because I got some things to do. I have twins, in case you guys didn't know, and it's their birthday today, so I've got a lot to do and get done, and want to get through this and just touch base with y'all. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. We've had incredible weather here for late in October in Michigan, and it's the best time of year also because we have baseball playoffs, which I don't follow during the regular season too much, and the Tigers are horrible. And then we have basketball, which has started up, which is my fave. We have football in full swing, so it's the most wonderful time of the year. All right, so we've covered the poetry, which, again, I know that's why you all tune into these videos. But we're going to move on to what I think is the most undervalued protocol in the drip and animal farm ecosystem. And the reason I think that this is it is because of the changes that Forex Shark has recently announced, right? So instead of pigs being offered up in the drip BUSD farm, it's going to be dogs, which, basically limits the supply of pigs in a pretty dramatic way, my understanding. And then just some of the other percentages that he's changed in terms of the minting of pigs and dogs also, and it also puts buy pressure. But that being said, because pigs has such a small supply and they're much harder to get now, I know everybody says drip is king. I get that. I don't disagree with that just because of what it does. But if the future holds true for what pigs is going to do and all the predictions that are going to be there, Forex Shark came out and confirmed in a recent AMA, and I'm not going to put price prediction out there. He said he thinks that by the end of 2023 that pigs could be at, or I can't remember, drip or pigs could be at $3,000 to $4,000. I can't remember which one, but pigs is a lower supply than drip also. So I think if drip gets there, the pigs will get there for certain as well, or at least pretty high. That being said, based on the limited supply, the piggy bank is the play because you are earning you're earning pigs and BUSD. I'm telling you, it's being slept on, and you're earning those. If you compound and set a higher stake in there, you get such high returns on this thing. I'm getting ready, by the way, a piggy bank strategy round 5 is going to be next week's video. I don't do it until the first of every month, and the first is on a Tuesday this week. So I'll record that midweek and then make the recording and upload it on Sundays as I've been doing. But man, I'm hoping to get, again, at least a quarter to a half of a pig on top of the BUSD that I'm going to earn, on top of, setting up 2 long-term stakes, one for 57 weeks and one for 156 weeks, which is also going to come into play, should this thing survive. Now, the big caveat to all of this is if Forex Shark can actually deliver and launch on the 1st. I think that if he doesn't launch on the 1st, this thing is going to be devastating long-term. He can't keep continuing to blow launch dates and just come across as unprofessional as this looks. And secondly, another thing that I'm going to encourage you all not to do not take time off of work. I know that timer is running and says 12. If you're working and still need to work, don't do it. Don't take that time off, because I don't think he's ever launched right at the time that he said he was going to launch. I could be mistaken, but I don't think it's worth taking that time off if you need to work to actually get in here and do some things. And again, I'm not going to be rushing into purchase. I think dogs either. I'll wait to see if there's any kind of dump, and if not, then I'll be earning in the drip BUSD farm anyway. So plus I have dogs from the stake. But anyway, that's up to you to do what you want. You're grown-ups, and again, I'm not your financial advisor, as I stated, and I'm just some dude on YouTube. I'm not your friend. Not here to grow a YouTube channel. In fact, this is the slowest growing YouTube channel in all of DeFi and crypto. And it doesn't matter because I'm here if I can help one or two people change their lives, and based on my successes and failures, then mission accomplished. So that being said, we'll move on to Flare Network, and diversity is key here. I'm not a drip maxi. I'm very high on drip if he can actually get this farm up and running and working again. I mean, it's been a long time, but if he does, I'm hugely long on drip, based on the utility this thing is going to have. And that once the farm is launched, I don't care if he's late with the rest of the things that he's going to implement, whether it be lending or the scratchy tickets, whatever that is. It doesn't matter at that point, because again, the marketing will take care of itself with the earnings that are taking place. That's the best marketing you can have. So that being said, Flare Network, again, they said that they were going to be ready. And again, I'm disappointed that Hugo, he's a super smart guy, Hugo Filion, can't figure out how to communicate to the community without it backfiring in his face. He and Forex Shark are the worst at that. And so I don't know if it's a dev thing, if it's just, an emotional intelligence lacking that they both have. I don't get it. But, if you give a date of the last week of October, first week of November, then you, come back and say, well, that means that we're ready, but the exchanges aren't ready. So what's happening? This is going to be the largest airdrop in all of crypto. And basically they took a snapshot back on December 12th of 2020 for all XRP holders. They initially said it's supposed to come out late December, early January was what they were targeting. It's been 2 years in the making, right? And so now, he put that announcement out there, and now it's not going to be until, I think, January, at the latest is what he's saying. But that's because he has to coordinate with all the exchanges so that it's a fair launch. Why didn't you just say that and figure that out ahead of time is my big criticism, right? I think this layer one Flare Network, if you're not up on this, and I think it's the right move, but communicating it appropriately, man, get your acts together. This is why a good corporate communications person is critical that understands this, is critical if you're going to be putting dates out there. It just disenfranchises the community. So anyway, going to move on there. I'll keep you posted. I'm still very, very high both on Drip Network, the Animal Farm, and Flare Network. And again, who knows when that XRP SEC court case is going to end also, right? No one really knows. That's also been 2 years, right? So it's been tough for everybody, and I picked my top three protocols have been delayed for so long. All three of them: Drip Network, Animal Farm, Flare Network, and then also the XRP. Anyway, no crying. It's a grown man sport. It's a solo sport, and it is what it is. But you got to have that long-term mentality, right? I've been, diamond hands the whole time for all three of those. So we'll see what happens. All right. So for my wallet voyeurs, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm at 1,315 approximately, and again, if drip hits these prices, getting back to 20, 50, or even $100, man, I'll be making 1,300 or 13 drip and some change a day, right? I mean, that's not bad cash, and again, if it gets higher, great, better for me. So there we are with drip. Piston token 654 doing its thing. And then let's jump over here to my plants, my garden. The garden is, I'm at 7,364,000 plants. I'm going to jump over here and I hydrated this morning. And by the way, I'll give you an update on what I'm doing with my hydration. I'm down to, because of where I'm at, I'm basically hydrating on my larger ones twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening before I go to bed. And then my smaller wallets and my sub wallets that I have, I'm basically doing it once a day. I'm not as pressed to hyper compound just because of where I'm at with things and how quickly I'm jumping up. So, and again, that's just to save on gas fees right now with the prices being so low with everything. It's starting to get costly. And also, if I get over to my piggy bank, you can see that after the first, I'll have I'll have 18 wallets, I think it is. Yeah, I'll have 18, different piggy banks that I'm managing, and each one of those, as I'm compounding daily, costs me. So, again, it's until these things start paying out like I'm hoping they will. That's my strategy. Who knows? I may change that, but for right now, the time being, it's twice a day for my larger ones here. But you can also take a peek at the where my, and I'll slow it down here, where my wallets are. You can see the 4 that I my piggy bank strategy, the 4 that are unlocked. Once a month I let them run for 7 days, and then I sell them, take out half, and decouple them on pancake swap, and then I take the BUSD, keep that, and then I take the pigs, put that into the piggy bank, or I'm sorry, the pig pen, and then I take basically the other half that I haven't decoupled, and I basically split that into 2, and put that into a new piggy bank. One for 57 weeks and one for 156 weeks. So you'll see that next Sunday if you want to jump in. And I also have a playlist on the channel too if you want to just kind of track from the start to finish with all of those. So, but anyway, you'll see that there. My pig pen, I'm at, I should be definitely well over 23 after Monday as well. So, and then again, by the way, the miners, I took my last, the BUSD and BNB crops farmers, I took my last ones there. I'm not wasting any more compounding on that. Those things are both going to die, so it's dead. I took an L on those, and again, I've covered that before. I recommend sticking with the ones that work, which is Drip Network and the Animal Farm. So that is what it is there. So going forward, unless I find something that's maintaining and staying as long as Drip is, Piston's hanging in there, but who knows? But anyway, that's it. And I'll give you by the way, I've been pumping Defi Buddy, but listen, this cat is not keeping up on, updating this thing or doing things that are right, because these simulations aren't working anymore. I checked out his Twitter page. He's not doing any updates, so I'm not giving any more money, and I'm not gonna, keep pumping this. But still like the interface, and it still shows me my interest rate that I'm making on these right now. But hopefully DeFi Buddy will kind of grab some of the things that are working well for drip.formulate.finance. Hopefully he'll grab some things that are working for DeFi Buddy and apply them here. So as you can see, here's what I'm kind of doing with the garden here. I mean, this thing is just, crushing it. And this is since, about 7:30 this morning, right? Oh, yeah, about 4 hours ago. So you can see what's going on. And I'll just show you my stats here. I'm making 10,000, plants per hour. 10,000 per hour. And I started out pretty low, a couple hundred plants back when this thing, not too long after it launched. So just keep compounding. You can do it, and basically every week I put $5 in for each of my sub wallets, and then $10 back into the Drip Liberation. By the way, I heard an or somebody comments that Forex is going to try and move that Drip Liberation into the main site, which will be wonderful. I can't wait for that to happen either. But anyway, that is going to do it for me. Hope you all are doing awesome. Hope you're having a great week. Fingers crossed if this thing launches. I would not be shocked if it didn't. Again, I strongly encourage you not to take off work and, base your life around the word of somebody who's not delivered, on time recently. So, again, that's going to do it. Be kind to each other. Be generous when you can. Even if you don't have the money yet, it'll pay off, and pay it forward. And that is going to do it. And with that, have a wonderful rest of the week, and we will talk to you next week.